a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved. That's the song that was channeling through when I consulted with the ancestors today on just, I felt this strong energy of needing to show up today for the collective. And this may not be everyone who needs it, whatever the case is, right? But those who need it needs to hear it. Um, of being reminded of being immovable. You are safe. And they say, remember, we just gave you this message a few days ago. You're safe, you're protected, and you're marked safe. I remember when the ancestors was coming through and they gave us some I can't remember what it was they told us to do, but they said it was like you're marking the blood, the Passover over your door. Trust that you will be good. We're in times where you can't just decipher what's going on by what you see with your eyes, with your physical eyes. You got to be able to feel with your soul, understand with your heart, and see with this third eye. Everything as above is so below. So everything that's happening down below, it's happening up above. I realize my door is unlocked, honey. I know I gotta keep everything set up just in case. um, but in these times, we're witnessing the 5D in a way is like, it has diarrhea. Put it that way. Have any of you all's grandmother, did they say when you like pass gas and it stink, they was like, yo, inside's rotten? This is like what we're in right now. We're seeing around us just how rotten some things were, some spaces, some institutions, and we're called to be aware of what's going on because although we are 5D beings, we are spiritual beings, we are divine beings, we're here having a human experience. And in us being here having this human experience, we have to understand what's going on in the human experience. We have to understand that the same adversaries that are down here, it's also adversary energy in the universe. That's just the principle of the universe, the law of opposites, the principle of opposites. The opposite will always be there. So one thing we're seeing the extremes of both ends of opposites right now. There is no one that is the angel and the other one is innocent. We're literally seeing the opposite of the extremes and what that looks like. And what we are as a collective who has been chosen to shift reality, shift the culture, shift the worlds that we're in, the environments. Do I have a piece of dog hair or something, child? Look, I'm looking at the camera like, why I look like it's a piece of dog hair, child? I think it's a crack on my phone. Child, I think it's the crack on the phone. I'm up here like, what's going on? Let me wipe my glasses now. Let me wipe my glasses too while we edit. That's also symbolic for the message. Wiping off our glasses, our lens, so that we can see what's really going on. Like, really see what's going on. Okay? What was that? That looked like a black butterfly. Yep. And a dragonfly. Mm. Means new life, rebirth, all of that. So, in this season, you're called to be set apart. And what does it mean to be set apart? You don't act like everybody else. You don't react like everyone else. You don't get into a frenzy like everyone else. You don't get fearful like everyone else. You find your peace. You find your grounding, your centerpiece. In the midst of the chaos, you find your peace. And I made a post on Threads, was it yesterday, I think, where I said, you don't fight fire with fire, because all that's going to do is just make a bigger fire. You starve it from oxygen. You starve it of oxygen because fire needs oxygen to spread. If there's nothing for fire to be able to breathe through with oxygen, it stops. So, for example, fire will go through a piece of clothing because the fabric has you you may not be able to see it at eye, but if you were to go in really, really closely, there's pockets where oxygen is getting through versus a piece of metal. It's just gonna most times be stopped unless like it's a certain type of fire and it's, melting point, and even then it's just melting, it's not spreading the fire. Okay. And so you have to starve the fire of oxygen, especially in this season, because everywhere you go, they're going to want you to, converse about it, talk about it. Listen, my keywords, I only use one social media, and that's Threads, for really. And I have so many keywords that I don't want to see on my timeline. I don't see the world that I've created on my social media, because I feel like the algorithm on Threads is better than any other. Um, because I've told other ones that is certain things I don't want to see, and it still show me stuff. But you have to actively block certain things out of your subconscious oftentimes, if that's what you have to do to stay sane and to stay separate. But this is not the time to stress. This is not the time to be afraid. This is not the time to question. This is the time to stand fast on who you are, what you believe in, and that goes with you. And the less of an opinion that you have, the better. Because when you make an opinion, you're entering into a spiritual contract. When you pick a side, I ain't never seen that truck before. Oh, okay, they don't belong here. I'm serious, like I ain't never seen this. This look like a government truck, honestly. All black Tahoe. I mean, all white Tahoe with the tents. They got interesting cars now, but they pulled in and then they left back out, so they was trying to turn around. I'm like, I know you don't belong here. Who is you? I watch the cars. I watch the people. I know what's around me. I know what's around me. But that's one of the four agreements. When we form an opinion or we form a judgment or we pick a side, we're entering into a contract. This is not the time to be entering into any spiritual contracts. It's best to, and when they say a spiritual contract, it's like, don't let society push you into the aspect of right and wrong. And that may sound really weird, but those of you all who are called to be an example of peace, an example of balance, growth, expansion, without the stress, without the issues and problems internally. Like, we have to approach things differently. We have to approach what's happening around us differently. And so, know when you pick a side that you're making a contract with that side. Now, if you choose to make a contract with a side of whatever's going on, that's on you to do too, right? But the ancestors and spirit guides are more so just saying what some of those implications can be. And so when times seem, confusing or, may not understand what's going on, just all of that, know that when you're called to be set apart and not like everyone else, you can't move like everyone else. I'm not just anybody. Okay. R.I.P. Aaliyah. I don't feel right. I got to run right. Wait, you should watch my back because I'm not just anybody. We have to remember how energy is siphoned, and the strongest conduits of energy is oftentimes through fear and anger. So if you're 1111, if you're going to be in that energy or in that state, use it as a way to manifest and create in a way where it's like a conductive. It's conducting something. It's generating something versus your energy just being given to generate something else. You feel me? So say you do want to take a side, right? Make sure you allow how you conduct your energy with your opinions, um, how you form them. Make sure it's in an expansive way where it leads back to you and you're not just feeding the machine. You're not just feeding the engine. You're not just putting quarters in the machine. You're actually receiving in the return. Um, Ancestors been preparing us for all of this. They've been telling us, what to get in order, what to do, communication, like, and those of us who have been in that alignment, you're in a 1, 2, 3, 4. You're in a place that many people are not, and you need to know that you're gonna come across people who are not there, and they may appear to be like in opposition because in a way they are. They don't like the fact of why are you at peace right now with everything that's going on? They're going to start calling you names. They're going to call you insensitive. They're going to call you selfish. They're going to do all these things because you don't want to be into the mental gymnastics of the cycles. Don't fall for it. It's the tricks of the matrix. Don't fall for it. I was just sitting here thinking about, y'all, I bought some cotton candy grapes and I knew they were, GMO hybrid because that's most of the damn food, okay? But they really taste like cotton candy. I was like, er, er, okay. They really taste like cotton candy. They good though. They are good. I've accepted the fact that a lot of the food and stuff is not, real. And that's why the ancestors was getting on us about, growing our own foods and learning how to, oh my gosh, oh no, no. Okay, it got away. It was a black cat, y'all, in the car almost hit it. It got away though, literally, because it wasn't paying attention, and the car was looking like it. I know if I saw it, the car should have saw it. That was really interesting. Um, Feel free to say in the comments, what was that sound? Feel free to share. It sounded like the sound that the smoke detectors make when it, but it was just only one pitch. But let me know in the comments what that meant to you though with the cat. I feel like that means a lot, different things for different people. But also just in the spiritual aspect, that also can mean the sense of getting away with something in the nick of time, getting away from it before it damaged you, before it got to you, before it harmed you. Um, Record and write down like the messages and things that are given to you at this time. Document them like a dream journal. Your dreams have been showing you a lot. The people who have been showing up in your dreams actually relate a lot to um, what's going on, and how you relate to what's going on and what it's like moving into. I'm just starting to see suspicious stuff because who is he? Okay. But anyway, don't get caught into a lot of the things that are going to happen or that people may do or bring towards you. So that, oh, your dreams. Y'all know I get distracted, child. So through your dreams, the people who are reflecting back into your dreams, they're either reflecting to you as being people who you can trust, um, people who you can work with, or your spirit wants you to make it right with, or people who are the ops. So just pay attention to the energy that is being displayed in it, okay? And that gives you a good idea of what it is, what the relationship is. So that is the message, y'all. That's the energy. Someone needed it. Someone needed just some comforting energy. Be like the tree that's planted by the water. Be immovable. Don't let anything sway you, sway your energy, sway your emotions. You know, turn off the news. Block certain words from your timeline. You can care and not be all immersed into everything um, as it's happening. Think about back in the day when they didn't have like social media and stuff, or even like the stuff, of course, what they were showing on the TV was propagandized, but um, they didn't have as much access to every play move of what was happening. You get what I'm saying? Remove yourself from the group chat and allow yourself to stay in perfect peace. And if you have people around you who, because you may have people who you try to have this conversation with and they're going to be, don't even let your actions show. Let your actions show. Um, don't try to focus so much on trying to communicate it or talk about it to convince. Let your actions show. White trucks may be a thing, y'all, because the past three cars that went through have been white. Hmm, that may mean something. Cleansing off something. I don't know. I don't want to dig too deep into it. Not right now. That's not what this message was supposed to be about. But if you get a message from it, feel free to share in the comments for the collective to, tap in with. I love how supportive y'all be with each other inside of the comments. If someone shares that something is happening or it happened and how y'all be supportive in the comments, wishing them well and like I love that. I fucks with that. I love that a lot. And so shout out to you all for being what it is that you want back, you know. And so when you identify your village in all aspects of your life, your job, your family, online, a community group, whatever it is, value it. Value it. And so I thank y'all for being. Oh, I didn't do the theme song. Hey, butterflies. Because I know y'all said y'all don't care when I do it as long as I do it. I be getting into it sometimes. Hey, butterflies. You were tuned in. Well, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Alchemy Doctress with me, Doctress Monica Nicole. Because here we are all about evolving out loud in our life, our money, and our purpose through the energy of our ancestors. Since we getting into the wind down, let me get into my wind down voice. This is the what was it, the smooth jams after hours. What song you want to put on the call line tonight? I've been feeling a little Luther Vandross myself. If this world were mine. What song you calling in on for the late night slow jams? Let us know down below in the comments. I love you all, and as always, always be real, always be true. Don't be afraid to do what your higher self and your spirit team is calling for you to do. Period. I'll see y'all later. Bye.